Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you today, what God has placed in your heart, what you've been working toward, what you've been believing for, it's still going to happen. I know sometimes life makes you feel like you're stuck. You've prayed, you've worked hard, you've done everything right, but you don't see results. The promotion didn't come. The relationship didn't work out. The opportunity you were counting on seems to have slipped away. But let me tell you something, just because it hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it's not coming. See, delayed does not mean denied. When a farmer plants a seed, he doesn't see anything happening for weeks, sometimes months. But just because he can't see it, doesn't mean it's not growing. The roots are taking hold underground. Growth is happening beneath the surface. Some of you have been planting seeds in your education, your career, your business. You've been sowing seeds of hard work, dedication, and faith, and I want to encourage you today. Your harvest is on the way. Don't let the delay make you think you've been denied. The challenge is not there to stop you. It's there to prepare you. Your setback is a setup for something greater. Think about Joseph in the Bible. He had a dream that one day he would be a leader. But what happened? He was thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, and put into prison. If he had judged his destiny by his circumstances, he would have given up. But he understood something. God is always working behind the scenes. In one moment, God took him from the prison to the palace. Your time is coming too. I don't know how long you've been waiting. I don't know how long you've been struggling. But I do know this. If you keep believing, if you keep preparing, if you keep moving forward, then what is meant for you will come to you. Some of you have been waiting for the right door to open, and you're wondering, when, Lord? When is it going to happen? Let me tell you, just because you don't see a way doesn't mean there isn't a way. The right people, the right connections, the right opportunities, they are already lined up for you. You don't have to chase them. You just have to be ready when they show up. So today, I encourage you, don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Don't listen to the doubters. Keep preparing like it's already on the way. Keep believing like it's already done. Keep walking like the door is already open, because, friends, it's still going to happen. God bless you. Keep moving forward in faith. Would you like me to tweak any part of it? Let me know. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Too often we mistake delays for denials. We assume that if something doesn't come together in our timing, then it must not be meant for us. But the truth is, a delay is not a sign of rejection. It's often a sign of preparation. Sometimes what we're asking for, what we're dreaming about, is still in the process of becoming ready for us. And sometimes we are still in the process of becoming ready for it. Think about a construction project. When a builder lays the foundation of a house, it may seem like nothing is happening. To the untrained eye, it can look like progress has stopped. But that foundation is the most important part of the entire structure. It has to be firm, stable, and strong enough to support everything that comes next. If the foundation isn't right, the house won't stand. In the same way, the delay you're experiencing may be God strengthening your foundation. You may not see it, but there's work being done beneath the surface. Many people give up because they don't see immediate results. They walk away from their dreams because it's taking longer than expected. But the timing of your breakthrough is not up to you. It's up to the divine plan that has been set in motion for your life. When a seed is planted, it doesn't sprout overnight. There's an unseen process happening beneath the soil. If a farmer digs it up too soon, thinking nothing is happening, he would destroy the very thing that was about to grow. In education, students don't earn a degree the moment they step into the classroom. They have to go through a process of learning, of testing, of proving their understanding before they are ready to graduate. The same principle applies to life. What you're working for, what you're hoping for, is not being denied to you, it's being developed for you. History shows that the greatest breakthroughs often come after long periods of waiting. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before he succeeded in inventing the light bulb. If he had interpreted those failures as a permanent no, we might still be living in darkness. But he understood that delay doesn't mean denial, it means development. Each attempt brought him closer to success. You may have applied for a job and not received a call back. You may have started a business and it hasn't taken off yet. You may have been working toward a goal, but the progress seems slow. Don't let discouragement make you quit. What is meant for you is still in motion. The delay is not a sign to give up. It's a sign to press on. Keep preparing, keep believing, and keep trusting that just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. Your dream, your breakthrough, your moment is still coming. Every challenge you face is not there to stop you, it's there to prepare you. What feels like a setback is often a setup for something greater. Too often when things don't go the way we plan, we think we've failed, that we've lost time, or that our dreams are slipping away. But in reality, the struggle you're going through is making you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's ahead. Think about an athlete training for a championship. They don't just wake up one morning and win a gold medal. They go through intense training, endure pain, push through exhaustion, and sometimes even face injuries. If you saw them struggling, you might think they were being pushed too hard. But what's really happening is that every challenge is conditioning them, making them stronger, increasing their endurance so that when the big moment arrives, they are ready. Life works the same way. The setbacks you experience, the rejection letter, the failed attempt, the closed door, are not there to defeat you. They are strengthening you for the moment when the right opportunity comes. If everything was easy, if there were no obstacles, you wouldn't be ready when your breakthrough arrived. Challenges refine you. They sharpen your skills, build your character, and teach you the lessons you'll need when you step into the future that's waiting for you. Think about the story of Joseph. He had a dream that he would one day be in a position of leadership, but before he could step into that role, he was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. Each of those moments looked like a setback, but in reality, they were stepping stones. If Joseph had never been sold, he wouldn't have ended up in Egypt. If he hadn't been falsely accused, he wouldn't have been placed in prison where he met the person who later introduced him to Pharaoh. And if he hadn't met Pharaoh, he wouldn't have been elevated to a position of power. Every challenge he faced wasn't pushing him away from his destiny, it was pushing him toward it. When you face obstacles, you have two choices. You can let them defeat you, or you can use them as fuel to push forward. The difficulties you're facing are not permanent, they are preparing you. That job you didn't get, maybe it's because a better one is coming. That relationship that didn't work out, maybe it's because there's someone better for you. The business that didn't take off, maybe you were meant to build something even greater. Don't let temporary setbacks make you question your potential. Every great leader, every successful person, every world changer has faced struggles along the way, but they didn't quit. They saw their setbacks as part of the process, as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. If you keep going, if you keep learning from each challenge, you'll look back and realize that every obstacle was actually positioning you for something far greater than you imagined. Believing in the unseen is the first step to making it a reality. Too often, people wait for everything to fall into place before they start believing. They say, I'll believe it when I see it, but that's not how faith works. Faith is believing before you see it. It's trusting that what you're hoping for is already in motion, even if there's no physical evidence yet. The words you speak, the thoughts you dwell on, and the expectations you set in your heart all have the power to shape your future. When a farmer plants a seed, he doesn't go back the next day and dig it up because he doesn't see any growth. He doesn't say, I don't see anything, so I guess nothing is happening. No, he trusts that beneath the soil, the seed is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's breaking open, taking root, and preparing to sprout at just the right time. Your dreams, your goals, your vision for the future. Those are seeds that have been planted in your heart. Just because you don't see them growing yet doesn't mean they aren't developing beneath the surface. The words you speak over your life either water your seed or dry it out. If you constantly say, it's never going to happen for me, I'll never get that promotion, or I don't think I'm good enough, then you are speaking against your own potential. But if you say, I know my breakthrough is coming, I am qualified, and what's meant for me will find me, then you are activating faith. You are aligning your mindset with success. Think about how an architect designs a building. Before a single brick is laid, they have a blueprint. They don't wait until the building is finished to believe in its existence. They see it in their mind first. They know every detail before construction even begins. That's how faith works. You have to see it before it happens. You have to believe it in your heart before it comes to life. Many times people let doubt and negativity block what's already meant for them. They start with big dreams, but the moment things don't go as planned, they talk themselves out of it. They start making excuses, settling for less, and convincing themselves that maybe it wasn't meant to be. But faith doesn't work that way. Faith says, I don't care how long it takes, I know it's coming. I don't care what the circumstances look like, I know the promise still stands. You don't have to see how everything is going to work out. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to believe that the right doors will open at the right time. That the right people, the right opportunities, and the right resources are already lined up for you. Faith is not just about waiting, it's about preparing. Speaking, believing, and walking with the confidence that what is meant for you is already in motion, even if you can't see it yet. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean nothing is happening. Too often people wait for signs before they start preparing. They think, I'll get ready when I see an opportunity, or I'll start working hard when I know it's going to happen. But that's not how success works. The truth is, you have to prepare before you see the results. You have to act like what you're believing for is already on its way. Think about a farmer preparing for rain. Even when the sky is clear and there's no sign of a storm, a wise farmer doesn't wait until it starts raining to plant his seeds. He tills the soil, plants the crops, and prepares his land long before the first drop of rain ever falls. Why? Because he understands the principle of preparation. If he waits until he sees the rain, it will be too late. In the same way, you have to get ready for your breakthrough before it happens. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect before you start, you may miss your moment. This is where faith comes in. Faith isn't just believing, it's preparing. If you're believing for a better job, start sharpening your skills now. If you're waiting for an opportunity, start getting ready now. If you want to start a business, begin learning the skills, doing the research, and developing the mindset now. Don't wait until the opportunity knocks to get prepared. By then it may be too late. Imagine someone who wants to be a professional athlete. They don't wait until they're signed to a team before they start training. They train before the opportunity comes. They practice every day, improve their skills, and work on their weaknesses so that when the right moment arrives, they're ready to step into it. The same principle applies to anything in life. Look at David in the Bible. He was anointed to be king at a young age, but he didn't step into that position immediately. Instead, he spent years tending sheep, learning to fight off wild animals, and developing the leadership skills he would one day need. When the opportunity finally came, when he stood before Goliath, he was ready. He didn't have to prepare in that moment because he had already been preparing for years. You may be in a season where you don't see any movement. You're working hard. You're doing your best, but nothing seems to be changing. Don't let that discourage you. Every skill you develop, every lesson you learn, every step you take is part of your preparation. Just because you don't see anything happening doesn't mean the foundation isn't being built. Your job is to stay ready, keep improving, keep learning, keep putting in the effort. Because when the opportunity finally comes, and it will come, you don't want to be caught unprepared. You want to be able to step into it with confidence, knowing that you've done the work. Prepare for the rain before you see the clouds. And when the blessing comes, you'll be ready to receive it. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will see the vision you have for your life. When you start pursuing something greater, when you step out in faith and work toward your dreams, there will always be people who doubt you. They may say it's impossible, that you're wasting your time, that you don't have what it takes. But just because they don't see it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. You can't let other people's doubts become your reality. Their words don't determine your destiny. Your belief does. If you listen to every negative voice, every criticism, every opinion that tells you it's not possible, you will start to believe it. Doubters will always be there. People doubted Thomas Edison when he was working on the light bulb. They doubted the Wright brothers when they tried to fly. They doubted Walt Disney when he pitched his ideas. But if any of these people had listened to the doubters, they never would have made history. There will always be people who don't believe in what you're doing. Your vision wasn't given to them, it was given to you. They don't have to understand your journey because they weren't called to walk it. Sometimes even the people closest to you won't support you. They may not mean any harm, but because they can't see what you see, they will try to talk you out of it. They may tell you to be realistic, to play it safe, or to stop dreaming so big. But the people who achieve great things in life are the ones who refuse to listen to the naysayers. Think about David before he fought Goliath. When he stepped up and said he was going to take down the giant, even his own brothers doubted him. They mocked him, told him he was too young, too small, and that he didn't belong on the battlefield. But David didn't let their words discourage him. He didn't say, "You're right, maybe I should sit this one out." No, he knew what was inside of him. He knew he had been preparing for this moment his whole life. He ignored the doubters and stepped into victory. That's the mindset you have to have. Not everyone will understand your dream, and that's okay. You weren't created to live according to their opinions. You were created with a unique purpose, and if you let people talk you out of it, you may never reach the greatness that's inside of you. Don't waste time trying to convince people to believe in you. Don't let their doubts shake your faith. Instead, stay focused, stay committed, and let your results do the talking. One day, the very people who doubted you will look back and realize they were wrong, but by then it won't matter because you'll already be walking in your success. Keep believing, keep working, and keep moving forward. Your dream is still going to happen no matter what the doubters say.